everybody, this is Marie, and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. And today we are going to talk about the Niger, this country in Africa who had some unrest, a coup, and a lot going on for the last few days. And I want to take a look and see what's going on over there. Now, for those interested, today I'm going to be using the Essential Tarot deck. Pretty cool deck. Believe it or not, I got this at Sam's a few months ago. Um, in that section when they sell the books, it was just there. Got it. Cool. Love it. So yes. So Nigeria is a country in West Africa. Uh, it it's they speak French over there. And a few days ago, they had their independence in 1960, if I remember, if I got the information correctly, from France. And even though they're independent, France still had forts or military base in the country. And it looks like every number of years, that contract is renewed with whoever administration is in power at that time. Now, apparently, the new government, the government that was ousted, let me see if I had his name somewhere. Bazoum's administration, apparently they renewed that contract uh, with the French government in 2022. So basically they approved the redeployment of French military presence in Niger. And because of that, it had caused a lot of unhappiness among the people. Uh, uh, the population, and a lot of people in the region were not too happy about it because a lot of people felt in Niger, they felt that France was sucking them dry. So for those who don't know, France has colonized a lot of countries in Africa, Haiti included, and so the people felt that France, even though they have a presence there, they have still kept the country in a relatively poor state. Now you say, oh, Sudan got their not Sudan, Niger. The Niger got their independence in 1960. They don't, they still have military presence, but apparently France, at different point in time, took a lot of those countries' gold, and in return, France have put themselves in a position of authority where they felt that they should print money for a lot of those African French-speaking nations, and Nigeria is one of them. So that's another form of control. So it can be considered what, economic slavery or whatever, imperialism. It's another form of colonialism. Whatever PC word works for you. So basically, the French people, the French government, well, not people, the French government have maintained control, still maintaining control over Nigeria in some way, shape, or form, either through the printing of the money, of their money, their franc, or through those military deployments that are like a permanent fixture in that particular country. So because of the people not too happy with with all of that, right? They feel like their country is not advancing the way it should, and that it's still impoverished. It's still, you know, so they ousted that administration, the Bazoum's administration. The military took over in July 26th, and right now the Niger is under military uh, 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 rule, right? So, okay, that is that. So while all of this was happening, there were uh, the coup was happening. A lot of the people, well, not Niger, Niger people, they were uh, uh, screaming out the French and something to the effect that they want Russia. So they have sought out Russia as to help them get out of this situation or get out under the French rule, right? And you can, instead of French, you can put globalists, bad guys, black hats. You can put whatever PC word fits your narrative, but basically, you know, you get the point. So, uh, so this is what's kind of going on in Niger. So now you may have heard that ECOWAS is a group of 15 countries whose sole purpose, right, of working together, it's kind of like a European Union, but for 15 African countries, among which Nigeria is part of. Nigeria, uh, what else? Busa, uh, Bur, what? Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Mali. So now they want to send military troop to intervene so that uh, ECOWAS group, apparently they are an economic group that works together to facilitate trade among one another. Now you're going to say, well, why do they want to do a military intervention? Great question. Apparently, the things you unveil, Nigeria is messing up with their money, right? So they have something good going on here. And Nigeria was a member at one point, but Nigeria fell out of favor because in 2008-9 they had a coup, and then soon after Benin, Mali, and Burkina Faso also had unrest. So that region has a lot of unrest, a lot of coup going on, and there's a lot of Al Qaeda activity going on there too. It's important to hear this because it kind of add all those dimensions to the story. Why? So you're gonna ask, why is the French still there in Niger? Well, France only has agriculture, right? But Niger is rich in oil, is rich in farmland, and they have like a great amount of forestry. So yes, 80% of the Niger is Sahara Desert, but the 20% is very fertile, have a lot of forests and oil, and also uranium, which the French need to power their nuclear whatever. And since the French is part of the European Union, right? Uh, it is in everybody's interest that the French stays in Niger, right? And apparently the Al Qaeda group is there to make sure that everybody stays in line, because Al Qaeda is kind of like the Black Lives Matter or the Antifa in that region. So, okay. So we have the intro. We got the info. Now that the coup occurred and we got an idea of what's going on in that region, we need to know, right? Um, so okay. So Russia, fast forward, Russia have told the ECOWAS to stand down, do not send any military interference. So I'm guessing Russia is going to try to use some kind of diplomatic whatever in order to defuse or de-escalate whatever's going on with Niger, the French embassy, the French presence over there, and try to not have any further conflict. So the ECOWAS, I believe, is probably also working for the black hats or the globalists. I'm guessing the point of the ECOWAS, that system, that economic uh, group, is there to kind of like a pep, making sure that all those bitches stays in line. At least that's how I'm gonna interpret it. Again, I don't know enough of that about the region, but this is what my basic research have shown. So at this point, there's so much unraveling here. What does the card wants to say about Niger? Now that we know what's going on, the country is rich in resources. The globalists are sucking them dry. They're still poor, right? They're still suffering. They don't even have control of their own money, their own dollar, their own gold, right? So they're being pillaged left and right by the globalists or the French, whatever, the colonists, whatever PC word suits your uh, whatever PC word suits your float, right? Floats your boat. So if you glaze over everything that I said, the Niger people, they are still under the French, the globalist thumb. They have no control over their money, their dollar, their franc. In that case, they don't have access to their gold. France took it over from them to keep it safe, quote unquote, and they take their uranium, and the country is so poor, and then they have Al Qaeda in that region as well, not helping matters. So all of that force this rebellion to take place because they feel like the president was a puppet of the globalists and that he was not helping the country. Okay, so with that being said, what does the card wants to share about Niger? I mean, what does the card wants to share about Niger? I'm telling you guys, if you take the time to do research about Nigeria, that region, the history and everything, it takes you to a rabbit hole, and information is going to be flowing, and it will lead you to a most interesting conclusion. The things you learn when you go down that rabbit hole. But wow. So let's see what the cards wants to share about Niger, the Niger. So the first card is the Three of Cups, usually togetherness, celebration. Nine of Cups. Okay. It's about, getting what you want and your wishing come true. This is Six of Wands. Being acknowledged, being recognized, victory. This is Five of Wands. So usually Five of Wands is a card about a bit of conflict, heated discussions, and outcome is the Three of Swords. For those who are new, I'm using the Kachina sword, the Kachina spread. This is Five of Swords. Oh wow. Okay, a lot of five going on here. So five is about conflict, overcoming one's opponent, or using underhanded tactics, right? Um, and this is Four of Swords, clarification. So those two cards are clarification. So we ask, what does the cards wants to share about Niger? So first card is the Three of Cups. So again, uh, coming together, celebrating. So here it feels more like everybody is coming to one voice. Emotionally, they're on the same wavelength. They're on the same vibrational page, so to speak. They're on the same. They're in the car. So now there's unification. There's unity. They are all one. They're all in agreement, right? With that Three of Cups. Usually it's a card of celebration, it's a card of happiness, but here all meaning of the minds, right? And for once, everybody are in agreement, and they got what they wanted. And what was that? Was uh, to oust the French or globalists. Put whatever name you want, it will apply. The bad guys, the globalists, the cabal, the French, the colonials, uh, uh, you know. So that was their wish. They were tired, sick and tired of these people. So it looks like this is. So in the past, with that Six of Wands, so the military came in and clean up house, right? Um, it looks like this was a long thing. Uh, uh, it was long coming, right? Uh, because based on the little research that I've done today, that sentiment, wanting to break free from the globalists, it's been festering, it's been out there, and the fact that they took action, uh, the military is looking like the good guys. So the Niger military group, whatever military, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, uh, they're looking as the hero, and it looks like it was something that was planned or a long time coming, right? With that Six of Wands in the past. So, okay. Um, Now, Five of Wands, present time. Five of Wands is about conflict, is about infighting. So this is causing a lot of unrest in the country. Obviously, a coup, no matter why it was done, it still caused a lot of upheaval, because one faction is going to disagree. There's always going to be conflict. There's always going to be unrest as a result of a coup, because it was not done through the electoral process. Okay. And as a result of that, there's going to be a lot of loss, a lot of loss of life, a lot of uh, 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 also uh, feeling of betrayal, feeling of, this is never a good card, right? Because the Three of Swords also about truth towards information. Information is going to be coming out that's going to hurt people, that's going to make people uncomfortable, makes people awkward, because the truth is coming out at the same time, especially about what those French, uh, 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 what they've been doing to these African countries. Niger is just, I don't want to say a symptom, but it's a result of what the globalists been doing to not only Niger but entire countries in Africa, in those particular regions. So a lot of people, once they find out the truth, if people take a moment to do research about what's going on, you're gonna be very disappointed. And the people of Nigeria, they are just uh, 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 getting the brunt of that loss of all of that's been done to them. Okay. um because so the again, the Five of Swords is also a overtaking card, like using underhanding tactics to hurt, right? And that's why uh, the people of Niger have united, because they have noticed firsthand those underhanded tactics that's being used against them to keep them poor, to keep them lost, to keep them never uh, 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 never at the level where they can feed themselves, their family, and be at the, you know, doing well for themselves. So all those underhanded tactics have caused a lot of loss, and the coup in general, you know, because again, every time there's a coup, it's never done peacefully. There's always bloodshed going on. And with that Four of Swords, you know, a lot of people uh, either got hurt, or also a lot of people are realizing or coming to the realization who's the bad guy in this story, right? Who to point your fingers to. Okay, okay. So this is what's going on right now. Um, I guess the next question is that, what does it mean now that the military has control? You know, now that military has control, is that going to be a good thing for Niger? Because the last thing, you don't want to get away from one tyrannical group and fall in the hand of another tyrannical group, right? So the question is, the other question is, what does it mean for Nigeria that they under military rule? What does it mean for Nigeria that they are under military rule? Two of Swords, Ten of Wands, this is Seven of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, uh, Nine of Pentacles, King of Cups, Chariot. So this is the only major arcana so far. Okay, so it asks, what does it mean now that Nigeria is under military rule? So basically, the military took over because they wanted to stop the cabal. They wanted to stop any further machination, I would suppose, because my King of Cups, most of the time for me, is the cabal. It's very good at manipulating, very good at, oh, it's in your best interest if you do this kind of thing. You know, that's that card for me. And there's no higher than the king. So it's basically to stop the bleeding, it felt like. When I saw those Two of Swords. So Two of Swords is about uh, making a choice. It could be about sometimes you just want to take a pause right? Just so you can reevaluate your situation and decide for yourself how to move forward. And it feels like this is what that Two of Swords kind of alludes to, because in the Rider Waite, the Two of Swords is this lady blindfolded with two swords, and she's not able to see the whole picture, and she's not able to move and make any decision, and she feels like she's stuck. So but here in this situation, for this Two of Swords, it feels like more about, let's take a pause for a moment and let's reevaluate what we want to do. uh and then the Ten of Wands is about being overwhelmed energetically. They feel like they're at their wits end, because if a country is uh it's not progressing, it's not developing, and the people every day or every year is doing worse off, and that there are resources in the country, like mentioned, oil, uranium, all that, they should be doing way better. So they feel overwhelmed. So I'm guessing, like everybody else, the inflation has been hurting him, gas prices have been hurting him, and they have everything that they need to be to prosper, but they're not still not able to make ends meet. So that Ten of Wands is telling me that they were at their wits end. They were like sick and tired of being sick and tired. And yes, here in the past with that, the uh, Six of Pentacles usually about sharing, was about creating balance, about, so there was some kind of there was some kind of with, oops, sorry, Seven of Pentacles, about waiting for your fruit of for your labor to come fruit, for your investment to bear fruit. And it's about being patient. So they've been waiting, biding their times, waiting for things to get better, or it's something that's been long coming. This need, this thirst, right? Because their land is fertile with so many things, with that 20% of land that they have, because 80% is Sahara Desert, but that 20% that they have is rich in so many resources, right? And I guess they started paying attention. It's like, well, if we have everything, why do we need those mofos? I guess they started paying attention. They started, doing their research. I guess they too have awakened to a lot of the facts, a lot of the truth. So with that Page of Pentacles, it's like a messenger is like really paying attention, studying their history, studying, again, like us, coming to the truth. So it looks like while they are going to be under military rule, outcome is the Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles is basically about being independent. It's coming to one's autonomy. The people will have to decide how they're gonna govern their country. They just needed to be under the globalists. Give them time to breed and decide for themselves, right? They wanted to be independent in thoughts, in mind, yeah. Not have any of the influence, so they can decide for themselves. The Chariot, how they're going to proceed, how they're going to move forward from this. So this is pretty cool. So I'm happy to hear. So while they're under military rule, that will give them the chance to do research, to really take notice, and also for them to find their footing, find their autonomy away from the manipulators, so they can move forward as they see fit, their heart's desire, right? Okay. So it looks like they have sought after Russia for help. So I'm guessing how Russia is gonna play a role in Niger. I guess let's look at this. How Russia is gonna play a role in Niger's in the future. how Russia is going to play a role with Niger. The Hierophant, the Moon, the Devil. Good gracious, all those are major arcana. Ace of Pentacles, Lovers, Queen of Cups, the Hermit. So it looks like the bad guys, right? The globalists, they're not gonna take the sending down. They're gonna do all them damage to murky the waters, to make things as difficult as possible for Russia and Niger um, do their thing. And in the past, again, a lot of funny business that's going on in that region. Again, please, guys, do the research, the things that you unravel that the bad guys been doing. So they're gonna try their best to stop it, to stop whatever relation or whatever accord. But it looks like, whether they want to or not, we're about to move. Nigeria is about to move into a new chapter, because this is Ace of Pentacles is a card of new opportunity, new awakening. And when I say new opportunities, economic as well. So I'm not going to be surprised if we hear that they joined the BRICS, or they would sign some economic contract with Russia. And interestingly, outcome is that the Lovers. So no matter what the bad guys would try to start, that outcome, Lovers, and it's a major arcana. That's awesome. That's big news. That tells me that this is going to happen pretty fast. They're not going to sit on it. They're going to come to some kind of agreement with Russia, or with the BRICS, or with both. But in spite of what the globalists gonna try to throw at them, so they're gonna try to do the complaining, the globalists, I mean the friends, like, no, you need us, how will you survive without us, type of thing. I mean, we've been with you since day one, the devil, kind of thing. You don't know anything about these people. So this is what, but no, the people is like, no, we're ready. We're cementing that contract, because we want to move away from y'all. We want to move away from what, your French globalists, bad guys, cabal have to offer. We are really willing, ready to move on. We're discarding everything about you guys. We are ready to seek out answers elsewhere. No going back. Thank you very much. So this is what that looks like. Awesome. And last advice, I guess we should ask. We should ask for advice for the people in Niger, right? What advice does the cards want to share to the people in Niger people? I don't know how to call them. People of Niger. What advice does the card have to share? to the people, for the people. What does the card have? The cards have to share. What does the cards have to share? Okay, that's Four of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Okay, 2 4s already. We need to pay attention. Okay, Page of Cups in the past. 3 of Pentacles, present. 9 of Wands, potential outcome. This is 8 of Cups, clarification, and the other clarification is the Knight of Wands, clarification. So we asked advice for the people in Niger. So first thing to note is that, again, Pentacle. Anytime you see Pentacle, it deals with resources, money, all of that in the above. They have plenty. Keep your resources to yourself. Hold on to what is yours. Right. For a very long time, you've been disappointed how a particular group of people have been holding on, keeping power, using your resources against you. Right. So that's what going on there. So present time, now is the time to work together, right, to build a solid foundation. Put your differences aside, really work together to create a solid foundation. And this is the only card in the Pentacles that are made out of cement. If you look at the Rider-Waite, where you see they're in a basement somehow, or in an enclosed area, and those pentacles are in cement or in masonry of sort. So again, really work at your foundation, really work together, solidify, collaborate. So use this opportunity to work together, figure out what you want to do. Present time. So present time is celebration. Okay, a lot of people are happy in Niger that they at least kicked the French out, that and united in that one, on that message, because again, one is about energy, vibration, passion, what motivates you, right, what drives you. So everybody is on that same wavelength, right? They're together on this, very keen. The recent past, Page of Cups. So Page of Cups is a message. It's a messenger of a surprising new beginning, of a new pivot. So this is pretty cool. Usually I get this card when it deals with children. I don't usually get it, but it can be about that too, because I don't know enough about the region. But here is a surprising message from the past. Maybe the way things are coming about, maybe a lot of people were not expecting it to happen in Niger, but you have this opportunity, this pivot, right, that allows you to work together, because the advice is, the outcome for this is the 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is that, this is only the first part, the first step by kicking the embassy, kicking the French out of your country. But it doesn't mean that you're out of the woods yet. You're going to have to be resilient. You're going to have to be strong, because the fight just started. That's a very nice way for the cards to say, because there's going to be more ahead, more disappointment, more truth, more information. You're gonna really have to fight for your territory, fight for your independence, because they're not gonna let this uranium just go free, right? So prepare yourselves, right? Because it's gonna get a little ugly with that Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups is about disappointment. It's about, you know, they're so you're gonna have to be resilient. You're gonna have to be strong because the fight is not over. uh Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands, that tells me that you might get help from the good guys, alliance, whatever, to back you up on this. So this is like my good military card. So I'm so I wonder, is it gonna, I'm I'm guessing the good guys in this story might be the Russians. So the good guys are, is gonna back you up. So I'm guessing either the Nigerian, not Nigerian, the Niger military over there, or uh, the Russian government. They're gonna be backing you up to kind of help you uh, restore order until you're able to get on your feet and do your own thing. And that Knight of Wands is telling me the good military guys, but it feels like the Russian. So that's interesting in this particular situation. So, okay, I'm gonna take two more cards. So yeah, uh, things are gonna get better. It might take a year or so, and uh, but it's gonna be a crazy year because there's gonna be a lot of loss along the way, and truths and information is gonna come out as well. Anytime there's a new beginning, something good is always at a dispense of sacrifices along the way. So, okay. Thank you guys for sticking with me to the end of this video. Please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you in another one. Bye.